Hello ladies, blokes and non-binary folks, it's your old pal Ant here, very old pal Ant. I'm here today to talk about TFN, TF Nation 2023, which I got back from 2 days ago that I'm recording this. I don't know, this video probably got up like Wednesday or Thursday or something. I got back on Sunday. Anyway, really good time was had. This year I went for 2 days. I did Friday and Saturday, travelled back on the Sunday midday. Last year I only did 1 day because I wasn't really sure what to expect. My experience with most conventions is that they're kind of wretched experiences a lot of the time. Usually getting bashed around and beaten and all this sort of stuff. TF Nation is nothing like that. It is so much more relaxed than any other convention. People there are courteous, it's more welcoming. It doesn't feel like it's a whole bunch of people are only there to grab stuff so they can sell it on eBay or something. It's like a whole bunch of people are there because they like robots, they like the Transformers, they like all these silly things, you know? I mean, I enjoy it. Look, my Devastator's starting to look like he's got a scarf around his neck now. Funny that. Anyway, that was what TFN was like. It was like full of fantastic stuff. Silly, goofy nonsense. Robots. Good times. So let's just do a little bit of vlog. I actually recorded tiny little snippets of video this time. When I say tiny little snippets, literally about 15 seconds of video. I was really bad at remembering to record stuff. Took a couple of photos. Didn't get much done. But anyway, Friday night, I spent most of the evening. I got there about 3 o'clock. Had to book it, sign in and everything. Spent the whole evening hanging out with Jay on Twitter. He's called JSpace10 and a bunch of his mates. We all sort of, I think some of them had only met for the first time this year. All sort of getting together to hang out and chat Transformers. We spent a bit of the evening watching the convention panels. I'm going to need my little thing here. This is the TFN guide that we got. And there is like a panel schedule in here. And I arrived sort of during the Mapes Brothers panel around 3 o'clock. The Mapes Diaries is in there. They had like teletext images on the screen and there was Digitizer on there and I don't know why. And I tweeted it at Mr. Biffo, who subscribes to my other YouTube channel. And, you know, I'm not sure why. But there was Digitizer on the screen. You know, we had a little break for a drink and everything. There was a Finding Your Voice panel, which was Jeremy Levy, David Sobolov and Sue Blue being interviewed. That was really cool. I actually chatted with Jeremy Levy after the next day in the halls. Just bumped into him. He does the voice of Bumblebee and stuff. David Sobolov, you know, is like Rampage in Beast Wars, and Sue Blue is Sue Blue. We know who Sue Blue is. Triple Takeover had a show. That's what this part is. They're good lads. Last year I met Sixo and Maz, and I didn't manage to catch Liam. This year I met Liam and Maz and didn't manage to catch Sixo. Sixo did get away with one thing that I really wanted, and it was only 10 quid. I didn't even realise it was there. He got a Beast Machine Supreme Cheetor. I want one of them. I don't care if it's bad. I need it. Anyway, that was really good. There was a little chat afterwards. During the Triple Takeover thing, they had this this podcast combat. They called it Mortal Kombat theme. They picked characters from different generations and they picked like a G1 and each had to pick their favourite toy from that generation. The audience had to vote for which one they thought was the best by shouting a whole load. Ended in a tie between Liam and Sixo, which means that they're probably going to have to fight to the death soon. So Triple Takeover is going to change into something else, I guess. Double. There's no word that sounds like takeover with beginning with D. Getting Motivated was originally going to have Andy Cousins, the toy designer of the 90s, who did loads of the 90s figures. This sort of generation of figure. I had to just go and grab him. Clench. Great figure. This is one of my favourite things I've ever owned. But he was responsible for taking part in the designs of these guys. Put Clench there. But yeah, he had to cancel because I don't know why. They didn't say. Maybe he's ill. I don't know. But Chris McFeely jumped in and helped out a whole bunch, which was great. Chris McFeely is, pretty much the most knowledgeable person you could get on stage for that sort of thing. Perfect person to go through all the designs, and with Dave Wallace, the host of the show. And that was good. And they had a movie afterwards, Transformers movie, but we all went to Five Guys, and I had a veggie sandwich, which my stomach didn't enjoy the next day. but I did go back and get a second one that evening, that Saturday evening. Anyway, that was it for Friday. It's pretty cool. I didn't get any figures on Friday. It was just concentrating on, getting through those panels, enjoying them, getting up to my room, falling asleep, and waking up. The next day, Saturday, I went straight downstairs and put coffee in me, because that was really important. And I went and queued up. And while I queued up, there was a guy in front of me, and I'd got the impression he was some sort of creator type guy. Turns out he's a YouTuber. I think he might have been Paper Planes TF on YouTube. I don't know him. I don't watch that channel. I've seen it come up. I don't watch every Transformers channel. Come some slack. Some other guy joined him, and I think he's another Transformer guy. And then that toy guy, the Canadian, the tallish Canadian one, keeps saying pain a lot. I subscribe to his channel. He's all right. I was going to say hi to him because he follows me on Twitter, and I was kind of like going to say hi and whatnot. But I didn't. They were stood right in front of me, but fans kept coming up and wanting to say hi to them and get their photo with them. And I was like, you let them. No, it's all right if I don't talk to everyone. It's fine. Because, I'm going to talk to a couple of guys. This is what TFN's like. But, I should go through what happened on Saturday. What I did on Saturday. Oh, before I go on, got a nice set of postcards given to us when we went in. That was quite nice. It's all the postcards for the stamps that they revealed last year. They auctioned off the RC image from this, like a one-off big print of it, and made something like 1,700 quid from it. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm going to put these out of the way because I'm going to need the space in a minute. Right, first thing I did when I went in there, I'm going to show you in a bit. That's going to be one of my pickups. But I spent the day buying figures. I chatted with Gav Spence and stuff. I bought some raffle tickets. I told people, if you bought a raffle ticket and you came and found me, you can win yourself a Wild Wheel. That eventually went to Plastic Crack on Twitter. I met him, on Sunday morning, I think. He'd gone and got a raffle ticket first thing and then came over and found me. I was like, yeah, go have some Wild Wheel. He's taken some photos of it, he showed me. I don't know if he's posted them on Twitter yet, for sure. He sent them to me. He showed me them. He's made Wild Wheel look infinitely better than I've ever managed to. But Saturday was really good. Like I said, I chatted with Liam and Maz, chatted with Gav Spence for a little bit of Ben Peary while I was at the table. I got recognised by someone. That was because last year few recognised me, and that was a bit odd. And this year, that's just a guy who's a follower on Twitter. I don't know who you are. I forgot to ask what your Twitter handle was. I should have asked that and been polite. But if it was you, hi, thanks for making me feel like a celebrity. I wasn't, but you know what I mean. You said hi, and it's nice. It's kind of nice to be recognised. By the way, if you were, Gav Spence and stuff, him and a whole bunch of other people made this comic, Thunderclash Goes Bananas, and I stupidly didn't bring it with me to friggin' get signed. I should have. Jay did. Jay brought his, and I think he got it signed by a few people involved. But this was really good, and you should give it a read. They've got a digital version available on their Ko-fi. Give it a look. Anyway, that's bring me on to pickups. There's something I picked up first. There's something I made a beeline for right at the start. That's going to be the last thing I show you because it's the Holy Grail item that I picked up. I'm trying to decide if I want to count this as my collecting goal of collecting the Holy Grail. You'll see it. It's special. It's fun. Right. But after that, I went straight over to Luke and T's Zombie Workshop, who he got me that awesome Dinobot Island t-shirt I had last year. Let's see where he drew it. I brought it. Loads of people were wearing his t-shirts this year. TFN Dave Wallace, if you're watching, get Lucan to design an official TF Nation t-shirt for next year. The guy's friggin' clearly the unofficial t-shirt designer of the entire convention. So many people were wearing his t-shirts. Anyway, it's this t-shirt. This is the one I got. This is another one. I saw him designing this. He was designing this on Twitch a few weeks ago. It's a little sort of Street Fighter-y thing. I do think possibly Unicron and Devastator might be a little bit overpowered against everyone else. I don't know. Maybe there's some balancing going on. But I've got a feeling Unicron's a bit of a Big Zam situation here. He's definitely going to be way too big to fit in the screen. Especially up against someone like Bumblebee or something. Where's Bumblebee? Up on top here. This is the first thing I got. Straight after that, I went and got some art. I got some art, and this year, I brought a wallet. I'm going to show you the art. It's a print I got from Gav Spence of his cover from Last Spot Standing, which is a phenomenal comic. You should read it. Again, I didn't think to ask to get this signed. I should have done that. I also bought some raffle tickets as well. And as a result, they had an offer on the table. Where did I put the friggin' figure? One sec. They had an offer on the table of if you spent, I think it's when you spent like 10 quid or any purchase or something, you got a little minifigure or a Cyberplanet key. Was tempted by a Cyberplanet key, but I only have one figure that uses one, and he's got a Cyberplanet key. So I picked up this tiny military muscle men looking Superion. I'm going to zoom it right into the camera for you. Hold on one stinking second. Look at this lad. Isn't that neat? Little tiny Superion. I believe these are resin cast from the minifigs that were available in Japan back in the sort of 80s. They did loads of these little minifig guys, sort of monster in my pocket size. I would compare to a monster in my pocket, but I sold my entire collection a few weeks back. But he's good. I think I've won a second one of these because I raffle tickets won some sort of prize, and it was a blue Superior, which I think is another one of this lad. But that's quite cool. But yeah, that's the first pickup, I guess. I'm going to show you. Right, I need to make some more room. One sec. Another little freebie I got. I met Spider Father, or Mellow Shade. You might know him from Twitter. He's the guy who's always taking photos of all sorts of common, rare, exotic, unusual Transformers on his grey sofa. He's in the process of like moving house and setting up. He said he's going to make a YouTube channel at some point to show off the ridiculous collection he has. He bought a lot of stuff. I chatted with him for a bit more on Sunday because friggin' busy in the centre. But he gave me a little box. It was a little minifig thing from Japan, a mini-con. And I got a barricade, a little tiny barricade. Here we are. It's a little tiny barricade. This took me a couple of minutes to figure out how to transform. I did have to actually get the instructions because he is actually kind of complex. His chest does this whole like hinging up and back thing, and then the sides all fold inwards. It's pretty clever for a little minifigure. Sort your chest out. But yeah, he's a neat little weird thing. It's a tiny little barricade lad. It's quite cool. When I was at the train station on the way home, there was a lad who had 07 barricade, and I was like, "Do you want to see my barricade?" And I friggin' pulled this out. Look at this masterpiece. But yeah, that's really cool. That I'm going to put that down. Right, shall we talk a collecting goal number 1 that has been completed for this year? So I like to set a goal every year, like figures to collect. The last couple of years I've been doing like completing sublines. So I did the Throttlebots a couple of years ago. I did the Firecons last year, which was easy because there's only 3 of them. This year I decided to go with the Triggerbots and Triggercons. And over the course of the year I've picked up a Override here. He was the first one I got. These are little figures where guns pop out. They're pretty neat. You see the force of this? That's a normal amount of force for one of these to come out on. I got Crankcase here, who his guns are motorised. So you pop the guns back in. There you go. Beautiful figure. This is a bit of a legendary one. Loads of people love this figure. And to be fair, he's probably the best one out of the lot. He's pretty good. I also got Dogfight. That's what one this is. I get the planes mixed up. But his gun's a little less exciting, but they do like that. They sort of pop up. They do it properly, mate. It's a bit more impressive in plane mode because it makes the wings go from swept back to swept forward. But these guys, I picked them up over the course of the year, but at TF Nation I was like, I need to get the rest of them. So over the course of TF Nation, I got Ruckus. These guns do this. Nice lad. Little Ruckus. He is incredibly simple. His transformation is literally just that. That's the entire transformation. I suppose you should swing the guns back, but that's it. Ruckus is all right. I quite like him. So I got him. I got Windsweeper. That's what this one's called. His guns are a little bit on the weedy side. I will admit. They sort of flick out. Not quite as fast as Dogfights, but they're all right. He needs some stickers on him. I'm thinking I might just buy a full set of Toy Hacks labels for these lads. Because I do want to try and repair a few figures, get their stickers up to snuff. I want to get some stickers for me Rodimus Prime as well, my G1 Rodimus Prime. Also, if Toy Hacks is watching, can we get some for Clench? That'd be really nice. But the one I picked up, and this is my favourite of the lot I picked up this weekend, is Backstreet. I never had this before, so no, Backstreet is not back in my collection. This thing, the guns on this are lethal. So we'll pop the guns back. Right, we've got the guns there. Watch how fast these pop out. That's a bit too fast. And it's with a lot of force. It's with enough force that if you watch real close, I'm going to zoom in. Right, if you watch his backpack, you see what angle it's at. Let's put his arms down so you can get a nice judge of the angle. Right, so there's his arms. Watch the backpack move when I press the button. The guns open up at such force that it makes the backpack move. And this thing's not loose. This thing's on here stiff. Fantastic. This thing is brilliant. Zoom back out. I did see that Chris Carter, aka Driver, who he's the guy who sold me the Masterpiece G1 style, the original Masterpiece Starscream I've got over there. He also did the opening ceremony video and all sorts. He's got a YouTube channel you should check out. It's pretty good. He's got more subscribers than me. I don't know why I'm telling you to go there. Yeah, he brought one of these as well, and I think he was quite pleased with it. I cannot get over how fast these fling out. That is ridiculous. I need to find a way of setting them all off at once and seeing which one's the fastest. But yeah, that is the Trigger Bots and Trigger Cons complete. That's my third complete G1 wave of figures. That's pretty rad. Let's do a couple of small ones and then we're going to move on to the larger figures I got. Tiny little lad, I got myself a second Spy Changer. This is Ironhide, little Spy Changer. I love Spy Changers because you transform them in a fraction of a second. It's like a second to transform that. He's a bit scuffed up, this one. I should probably have dusted the back of him. Hold on a sec. Highly recommend getting yourself one of these. This is a camera lens cleaner. Just dust up. Just undust his tray there. There you go. Get yourself one of these. But yeah, it's just nice to have one of these. They're great to fiddle with. I'll probably keep them on the desk over next to the Prowl I got last year. They go together really well. Both black and white cars. It's a weird little thing I got as well. This, I'm going to transform him. This is an Ultraman Belial. I always pronounce his name wrong. Transforming car. You see how it looks like Ultraman Belial? If you know Ultraman. But he transforms like this. You just push his bumper and he pops out. My hand was in the way. That should have gone quicker. Hold on. There you go. Yeah, that's getting close. How's that? A little Ultraman Belial. £6, still in its package when I saw it. There was, I think it's an Ultraman Diner, I think it was. I wasn't really paying. I can't tell the difference between most Ultramans. Belial's pretty easy though because he's black and evil, isn't he? He's got gold eyes and shit. He looks completely different colour-wise to other Ultramans. That's one thing. I wish Ultramans weren't all silver, or they had themes. But anyway, that's quite a fun little silly thing. I think you're meant to drive it into things and they bash and then pop open. I believe these are called Ultraman Go cars or something. But that's quite neat. I need to transform a figure. One of the last figures I picked up at the con is actually boxed, which is quite surprising. It only cost £15. Is this drag strip. It's a Universe drag strip based on the classics Mirage mould. It's a weird gangly figure. This is one of those ones that loads of people rave about. His tootsies are a bit loose, which is a bit of a shame. But I could probably tighten that up or something. I won't. Any toy reviewer on YouTube who tells them they're going to tighten up these joints, they're never going to do it. Okay? But yeah, he's quite good. You know what? People are right. It's a pretty decent mould. It's really weird how it transforms. It sort of all unfolds up and then the legs all swerve around. Legs do pretty normal stuff, but it's all this part here. The way this flips around and this flips up and then all connects together. Makes for a really cool looking race car, and it kind of makes me... It's one of those ones that makes me feel like we had some more slightly outlandish designs like this, where they were doing something a bit original with the characters. I love the G1 Accurate stuff, don't get me wrong, but this is more interesting, a bit more inventive. But yeah, that's a really good figure. People have been raving about this mould for years, so I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. There's like a million different paints on this. I was looking it up. They've done a Crasher, they've done Beast Machine Wars, Mirage, all sorts. Really good. Let's grab something else. Actually, let's grab the box. There's the box. Got the box. It's all came in the box. The paint on the back, completely different to what the actual figure looks like. Pretty common, I think, back then, from what I understand. But apparently this was a Transformers Collectors Club exclusive. You may remember a little while ago, not that long ago, 2 videos ago, I reviewed the Takara Robots in Disguise Bisque. And I managed to get myself another Robots in Disguise figure. I've had like a few Robots in Disguise lads who have all been like super quick change, like 3-step changer things. Bisque is my first fully proper one. And now I've got another one in Thunderhoof, the Takara version again. It's from the Toy Fu table. I got quite a lot of this from Toy Fu, to be honest, because it's the best table there. This thing's pretty good. He compacts up into a really small tractor, like literally the tractor's like this big in terms of length. But yeah, absolutely superb little figure. I mean, I know the RID figures are all hollow at the back, whatever, don't care. He's got big old horns on him, but it's just a beautiful figure. It's really nicely. There's a nice amount of paint on it. All the different shades of blue and the red and the little symbol in the front and his face looking all mean and scary. Should have pulled his horns back. They're not meant to be that far forward. They're meant to be like this. I do like his gun as well. It's got the gun. There's gun storage in vehicle mode. It's actually kind of clever. The gun storage is made, like the pegs for it is made up of the holes on the inside of the legs, and they come together to make the shape that you need to store the gun in. It's kind of a neat little touch. But yeah, this is my second Warrior class RID figure. I still want to get a Steeljaw. I think if I can get Steeljaw and that weird frog guy, the one who turns into the frog car, I think I'll be done with these guys. But yeah, considering I never watched that cartoon and I've got no intention of watching it anytime soon, I do really like these animal Decepticons. This is a really cool theme. So that's great. Right, let's grab something else. 2 goals I had at the convention was one to get the rest of the Triggerbots and Triggercons, and the other one was like a generalised, I want another Hot Rod, because I haven't brought a Hot Rod all year, and I don't know if you know, but I have this silly idea that I'm going to get one of every Hot Rod mould. It's never going to happen, but I'll try. I'll try and get as many Hot Rods as I can. Anyway, I picked up a Hot Rod, 30 quid, pretty good condition. I got this from one of the tables. I forgot which table I got it from. It was in a bag. It was in nice condition. I got myself Power the Prime's Rodimus Prime, which is a bizarre figure. This thing's pretty good. He's a little loose in places, but do you know, this is one I've always wanted to grab hold of just because it's kind of unique and weird. If you don't know, this Rodimus Prime is actually a Hot Rod figure in here. This whole bit, like, I can't, it's all so stuck in right now. But this whole bit comes off and he turns into a little Hot Rod. A pretty decent Hot Rod figure. I'll chuck some pictures up. I've got pictures and stuff to show you in this. But he comes apart and it's very creaky. Let's get the arms out here. I'll show you. He all comes out of here and there's a thing. I don't know what I'm doing. It's not coming out. I've got it stuck. Whatever. But yeah, there's a Hot Rod in there. And he combines with his trailer and forms Rodimus Prime. You might be able to tell that his legs form the shoulders in a really weird way. This whole part's like a separate part that you clip on to where the legs were. But I think you get a unique looking Rodimus Prime. It's not a G1 Rodimus Prime. This is something else. This is like Rodimus Prime via Power Master Optimus Prime, which I think was a whole thing with the Power of the Prime stuff for the leader class figures. Again, that was slightly before I got back into collecting. He's genuinely, I kind of like him. Bit fiddly to get the vehicle parts packing. Getting these plugged into the trailer always seems a little bit awkward. It's plenty of tabs to hold everything in, but they're all just a little bit like tricky to get in place. And he's solid enough when his knees aren't like flopping forwards like that, because they're not particularly strong. The knees on there, but he's really good. He has got a matrix in there as well. It's one where you put a Prime Master in it. And it comes with a little one, but it doesn't turn into a robot. It's just a little cube. But yeah, I might try and get some of the other ones from that leader class range, because there was a Power Master Optimus Prime and I think a Star Convoy version. There's that Optimus Primal as well that combines and becomes Optimal Optimus. But yeah, this is good. Nice big old chunky lad. You can see he's got like all this going on. This could have been better, but who cares? It's not a problem. It also gives me something really easy to hold on to, so you can float. But yeah, it's a good one. His gun splits in half as well, which is kind of neat. It's got lovely. The hands are really nice mould. They haven't got 5mm ports in them. They've just got the shape to hold the gun. But they are covered in thick paint on there. Why can't I get that in his hand now? I don't know. Guns going into the hot rod figure's hands are like ridiculously tight. They make a lot of squeaking noises. But yeah, he's pretty good. I'm going to have to shift a few figures around over there to make sure he can sit in on the shelf. I might have to put him at the back behind the Commander class, Rodimus from Legacy, from Kingdom, yeah. Anyway, that's a really good one. And now, the last pick, which was actually my first pickup. Now, do I class this as completing one of my other collecting goals for the year, which was to get a Holy Grail, to get something either, my term was loosely, something either genuinely rare or a Holy Grail of my collection. This was the first thing I picked up. As I was queuing up just before we went in, Toy Fu put out a tweet that they had this, and they had multiples. And as soon as I got in there, I was fairly close to the front of the queue for general access. I just went straight to it. This cost me 60 quid, and ladies, blokes, and non-binary folks, I got me a taco tank. This thing's pretty amazing. It's like, this thing's amazing. I wasn't after a complete one. I just wanted the taco tank. I just wanted to have the tentacles waggling around like the friggin' crazy things they are. Look at it. Look at them go. Look at them go. Look at that friggin' tank. It doesn't have Icard with it. It doesn't have the little water squirty bit. That's fine. I just wanted a big octopus. I wanted this last year, and they were all gone. And now I have a big octopus. I have no idea where to put this because this thing takes up so much surface area. It's massive. It's quite big. I do have the bike inside though. A lot of them didn't have the bike. So you just pop the bike out there. That like transforms and stuff. I've made a mess of that. But yeah, he's got the bike inside. So much fun, this thing. It's so stupid. His eyes do us 12. Why? Who knows? Who cares? But yeah, he's rubbery, he's shiny, he's glossy. I used to have a Transmetal Clawjaw that could have gone in here, but I sold that years ago. I've really got to stop selling my figures. I regret it every time, don't I? I did sell a Mutant Tigertron at TF Nation that I brought with me. Sold that to a guy on Twitter called Kieran, who I met in the bar, and yeah. But yeah, this is a fun thing. Everyone should have a taco tank. Because, it's just silly. Go watch Gav Spencer's review of this. He has a complete one. He's got Icard and everything. Icard's very expensive to get on his own. Not going to get one out. I might just get a Clawjaw. Are they reissued Clawjaw? Maybe. But anyway, this thing's great. I'm freaking so happy with that. This was my first purchase. This was like 60 quid out of my budget. It just went straight on this. They had other ones that didn't have the bike in them. They were selling them for like 35. They had a box one for 90 and one that was 100 and something, which I think was fully complete. But yeah, next year at Toy Fu, I don't need to try and scramble for one of these. I can scramble for something else they've got there. They had Overlords and stuff like that on the table. Anyway, taco tank. Let's put you down, lad. So yeah, that was the Saturday. That was all the pickups I did. Quite a lot of them. I came away with one more figure than last year, which granted I got 2 of them were giveaways. Technically I brought less than last year, but I've got a nice mix. I'm going to do hat picks for the Wild Wheels hat chat Twitter account pretty soon. Probably might photograph them tonight after I've recorded this. Good times, to be honest. On the Sunday, on Saturday evening, I met Emma, who runs this Twitter account called Bumblebee Bike, which is one of the many accounts that are similar to the Wild Wheels hat thing, where they find a character and they do some sort of gimmick with an accessory. Bumblebee Bike has it's like a rescue bot's like Bumblebee that turns into a motorbike, and they try and see what figures can fit on it. And we had my Wild Wheel with me, and we put it on there. And they did a picture of Wild Wheel on the bike, and I did a pic of the hat on Bumblebike, and tweeted that out. And that was kind of fun, just to meet another one of my, people I know from Twitter and stuff. Especially someone who who, by their own admittance, like, basically took the Wild Wheels hat thing I was doing and did their own spin on it, which is great. Loads of people did that. Kind of, I keep saying it's weird, but it's not really weird. It's just unusual that something I do has made people, like, inspired in some way. That sounds really pretentious. But I did something and then other people were like, that's funny, I'm going to do it too. That's good enough for me. But anyway, on Sunday, I met Plastic Crate, gave him the Wild Wheel figure that he won. Didn't do much on Sunday. Saturday night, I didn't do ClubCon because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that, and it's an extra 15 quid, and I decided just to relax because I was shattered. Did watch Casino Royale and Highlander, though. Highlander's good. You know that. It's a weird film. Everyone should watch Highlander at least once. But where's our Highlander crossover figure? I want a Highlander figure. Where's anything Highlander? Anyway, on Sunday I hung around for a bit. I checked out, headed home. Didn't get home till like gone 5 o'clock. I was pretty knackered, but I'm still knackered now. I really need a day off work. I need a week off work. I know I had the weekend off, but it doesn't feel like it because of all the travel. Good times with buddies at TF Nation. I didn't see Few once in the dealers hall the whole time, and apparently he was saying on Twitter that he was getting sort of basically everyone was coming over to wish him well, tell him how much they enjoy the channel and all this sort of stuff. The lads I met at the train station afterwards, there's a pair of young lads and their mum, they wanted to meet him and they didn't get a chance, but they did get a photo with him last year, so they've met him already, and they were like, I think they were pretty cool with it. But yeah, it was just swamped. I know Few's been saying he might have a table next year or something, which honestly, if by the sounds of it, that might be a good idea for them. But yeah, I can see a bunch of people getting stopped. I saw there's a YouTuber called Arrowfire, does Transform reviews. He's very masterpiece focused. But I saw him going around. I saw Toys R Us. Their Toys R Us. I should have spoken to him. I used to work for Toys R Us, not Toys R Us. But he's got a channel that's worth looking at. I've looked at his a few times because he has a lot of really rare stuff. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. I'm wrapping this up. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out Wild Wheels Hat on Twitter. And I'm going to put all these bots somewhere. Bye.